here. It's time. It's time for the second part of winter driving tips and conditions. And right now, the chain law is not obviously there's a chain law, but there's not in effect right now. So we are unchained, and we are about to go into Denver here very shortly. And it's very steep, and as you can tell, it's very hard to see right now. And basically, I'm going to guide you down this, and I'm going to show you kind of what this is like. It's this is probably one of the scariest things you'll do, and it's gonna be okay. All you need to do is making sure you're jaking and you're stab braking and taking it nice and easy, because this does get a little scary. This is a very serious downgrade that we're about to go down, and as you can tell, the speed limit for trucks right there. You can see it's 45, but I don't know. It's gonna. We're probably looking at 35, 40 tops, and you're just gonna have to. We're sitting here, and you just need to make sure you're prepared in your own mind because, like I said, it's gonna get a little scary. And here we go. Here's a sign: truckers, steep grades, sharp curves, next 5 miles. Use lower gear. So we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna slow down. Make sure we're keeping it between 35 and 40. And by the way, for the last video, there's some of the it's a little messed up. Hopefully, I can get it uploaded. I might not have the speedometer on there or anything like that, but we'll see what we can do. All right, so we're starting to begin on this thing now, and I'm just gonna go ahead and keep stabbing down. And it's funny because in fact, randomly now it says I'm speeding because it says it's 35. So I don't know if they replaced the sign recently or I need to probably just need to update my GPS. But what I'm gonna do is just yeah, like I said, the only time I'm kind of speeding up is when I'm speeding up only a little bit when I know that the grade is going to go upward. If I'm gonna have to push myself up the hill a little bit, and it's a funny thing because when it kind of gets down, when it goes down and comes back, if it comes straight back up, then you know that you kind of need to at least let it roll just a little bit. So here we go. So the next 4 miles is about to be a 6% downgrade. And not only that, but it looks like we got ourselves a snowplow right in front of us. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and apply some brakes here. We got a mess of cars right behind us, so we might be stuck behind this guy for a second. It's okay to kind of pass if you're moving along a little faster, but I mean, like I said, we want to keep this nice and slow. Right now, I'm sitting here traveling about 35 miles an hour, and I'm gonna keep the at least the level one on at the moment for the Jake. For your Jake, I have an automatic, so we have 3 levels of jaking, and yeah, it definitely it's funny because the automatic, it feels like to me. I mean, I've driven a manual as well before too, and it feels like I honestly feel like the Jake in the automatic feels really a lot stronger than the manual. But then again, the manual, you can set yourself out of gear and not be afraid of the truck keep increasing its own gear on you. But right now, we're just getting past this plow real quick, and we're gonna get back over into this right-hand lane, and we are gonna slow down a little more. This is something you just got to be super careful. And like I said before, and I said before in the other video, you want to make sure that you're not carrying what other truckers are doing, and you need to look out for yourself here. So that's exactly what we're doing. We're just making sure we maintain speed and making sure that we're going to stay safe. Because yes, that's the scary part about this is if yeah, God forbid that you went out of control or something like that. It would be bad. Maybe not in it would still be bad at this very moment, but once we get over here, we're getting closer to these switchbacks, which will be, I mean, you could literally fall off that mountain in a truck. I mean, these guardrails are meant for cars. They're not meant for trucks. And to my right here, there's a giant. I mean, you can kind of see it on the right hand side. It's a nice dip down, and I would venture to say you would not survive. You would not survive that. So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to continue to make sure we're slow and going down this properly. And like even you can notice now, even the cars are going slower. This is no joke. It only takes one slip up here, and your whole world is done. Your whole world is done. Even if you survive it, you literally might be seriously hurt. There's no need to fool around right now. We're gonna make sure we're going even slower right now. I'm gonna keep this thing between 30 and 35. Jake is on, and I'm lightly stab braking. I'm stab braking down to 30, and I just now release the brakes and I let it climb back up. And once it hits about 35, I'll step back down to 30. And you just repeat this process over and over and over again. It's funny because I got these signs right here. I don't know if you can read that. Truckers, you are not down yet. Another 1.5 mile of steep grades and sharp curves to go. So in a normal situation with like normal curves and things of that nature of a mountainous descent, that you'll get some warnings. You don't need to be scared that you won't know exactly when something is about to go crazy, that you don't know the roads of all the United States yet, because in most of these places where we're going down something like this, there is going to be big yellow flashing signs all in your face telling you and warning you. They really look out for you in that sense. They want to make sure that you know that you are about to go down something serious. Now, if it wasn't snow covered, if it wasn't, if there was nothing wrong with the road, you would, like I said, the speed limit said 45. You would be absolutely okay going down that. Shoot, yeah, between 45 and 50, you would be absolutely okay. For a newer driver, or even if you just want to be a little more safe, you can kind of back it down to 40. This is your life on the line, and as you can tell ahead of me, we got a left-hand turn at a 6% grade that we're going down right now. We slow it back down again. And like I said, if God forbid, if you were just being reckless and allowing your truck to roll through this at a good speed, look how short that thing is. Look how short those barricades are. That doesn't even come up to the top of my tire. You literally cannot honestly say, oh, we got a rake to our left here. Just a bunch of cars running into each other. But yeah, this thing doesn't even clear my tire. What do you think? There's no way that barricade is going to hold you if you slide into it. Well, I mean, there's a possibility if you slide into it, just long ways, just kind of graze it. But if you literally jackknife and go straight into this thing, there is no stopping you. There is no stopping you. You might get stopped on this bigger barricade right here. You might bounce off it a little bit. But even then, if you hit it hard enough, and you get the right momentum, and the momentum shifts and pulls you over it. Like I said, you will go over. And it's just something you need to think about. You need to make sure that you're being safe and looking out for you. All right. There we go. I'm going to speed up just a little bit here. We're not really too much danger at the moment, but the road is still pretty icy. Luckily for us, this is daytime, because let me tell you something. I'm just going to tell you this right now. Do not come down these mountain passes that are completely snow covered, the big ones. We're talking about Vail, we're talking about Cabbage and 4th of July Pass and Donner. You you do not come down these things at midnight or 2 o'clock in the morning when it's snowy and rainy and stuff. It is absolutely reckless of you to do something like that. There is so much black ice on that thing. It is absolutely ridiculous. You need to shut down. Daytime is scary enough, and just because of the, honestly, it doesn't help too much, but it helps a little bit. The sun behind the clouds up in the air, it kind of makes the temperature just a little bit higher. And with the temperature being a little bit higher, and also not to mention with all the traffic, because that's the main thing. When you get the wheels, when you have constant wheels of all these cars going over the blacktop or the flat, over the asphalt, it liquefies what's on the ground at least a little bit. If you roll through there or roll through here at 2 o'clock in the morning when there's nobody out here and just you, there's nothing liquefied. Nothing. Nothing's being crushed and turned into jelly and then eventually turned into water. And then yeah, exactly. When you come down here, it'll just be nothing but black ice. Black ice and just straight frozen snow. And that's a deadly combination. And, you know, you might get away with it a time or two, but you'll see it when you come out here in truck, and you'll leave the truck stop in the morning to start your day and come down, a pass in the morning time when it's safe. Oh man, just look to your left and your right, and I guarantee you, and at least a couple times, during the winter, you see these trucks just absolutely turned over on these curves going down these mountain passes, and that is, and you knew it was from last night, probably. Almost, I mean, I'm almost willing to bet a lot of this stuff does happen at night. And a lot of accidents do happen in the daytime, but my God, I mean, you just cannot really control the truck in that kind of situation late at night. I was a trainer before my girlfriend joined me on the truck, and I don't train during the winter usually, and and this is kind of why. What are they gonna? I mean, sure, you can still make a little more money, but in the dead of winter, I usually just choose to go solo because then I don't have to sit here and worry about someone that hard. And a little bit of snow is fine for them to go through, but you're talking about just a snowstorm that that makes you a little nervous. You are definitely not going to put a new person in that position. A new person, you will have to go through winter training before you can be a trainer. But let me tell you something: your first winter as a trucker, you will. It's funny because once you go through winter as a trucker for your first time, you will understand a lot, and your confidence level will rise, and you will rain and the road and just trucking all together will become absolutely easier because you understand limits at that point. This snow teaches you how to drive, how to push your limit. And we're not saying to push your limits. I'm just saying just it's a byproduct. You're still doing everything you're supposed to do. Slow down and make sure everything's good, and don't hurt yourself. But you are making strides and learning how to drive better. Well, that's going to do it for this two-part series. And like I said, if there's not a first part, this will be the only part. But no, I'm going to work really hard to get that first part up, and hopefully we can get the speedometer on there too, just like this one had. I'm going to go ahead and speed up now. We are absolutely in Denver right now, and um, just as a word right here, you can tell what the roads are looking right now. Super wet, snow topped everywhere but the road. This is a situation where I like to follow that first rule. It's 55 and under for this situation. You never know when you can find a slick spot that no one's ran over in the since last night. Or, honestly, let me give you one more piece of advice before I leave here, and that is that early morning bug thing. When you get up in the morning to leave for your shift, just know, even if there's been cars running over the road, in all lanes. Your most dangerous spot is that emergency lane, and even more so the on and off ramp. I've seen just people, yeah, there's going to be times in winter where you're literally going to have to slow down to like 5, 4, 3 miles an hour to even get off the interstate. So make sure you're watching these cars as they enter and exit, because you may call them, you may start cussing at them because they slow down so much before they get off the off ramp, but they literally can't help it. And once you get off on that off ramp in the middle of winter and you're going like 7, 8 miles an hour, and yeah, just 7 or 8 miles an hour, and you start fishtailing, just if you went to Prime, just like you did on that simulator, you will 100% understand why you should make sure you are giving everyone plenty of space, and hopefully they're giving you plenty of space. Best driver is a defensive, well, I like to call it a passive aggressive driver. And you need to know when you can be on the throttle and making sure that you're staying out of everyone's way, but you have to understand when you need to back off and let everyone else do what they do, even if it's unfair to you. Well, that's going to do it for me. I appreciate you for joining me. I'll have these two videos up hopefully by the end of the day, and that'll be pretty much it for me today. I'll make a video tomorrow or something, but I appreciate you for joining me in the passenger seat. This is Disillusioned. You can I hope you like, subscribe, hit the bell, leave me a comment talking about more driving tips. If you have any other to share with everybody, that'd be awesome. I appreciate you for joining me. Take care.